Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. It is Tuesday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well, give you some things to think about and talk about. But as always, let us start with the breath. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning to whomever just popped on. Glad you're here. You're my first visitor. This is awesome. And good morning, Barb. Welcome. And isn't it interesting that earlier this morning I was doing some journaling. I was up early and attempting to breathe. That's the best way I can put it, attempting to breathe. And it was ragged and it was labored and it just wasn't flowing. Now it's flowing well, probably because I paid attention to it, listened within, got the message, and now we can move on. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Welcome to whomever else just joined us. Your name hasn't rolled yet, but glad you're here. Now there we go, on the treadmill. All right, you go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You're going to love today's reading, y'all. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you are here. The way I picked it, and I picked it today, was I got the guidance that we needed something uplifting, something stabilizing, something guiding. So, ended up with Tosha. And I was thinking, usually I just open the book to a page and set the intention wherever it opens, that's where we need to be. Today felt different. So I went to the list of the chapters and just looked at what kind of jumped off the page at me and then muscle tested to see which one it actually was. So, Tosha Silver, Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead. And interestingly, that was the bulk of the message that I got from my journaling this morning was, you've got enough stuff to keep you busy. Just go about your business. Allow the divine to decide when and how the new direction will come to you. Just give it time. So that's the message kind of fits with embracing the flow, etc. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. Welcome. So we're on chapter 14. It's called The Higher Octave. Be your whole dazzling chart. Gotta love it. So it's page 173 in my book. Some of you I know have a book that's numbered differently, but that's what it is in my book. So there is a quote from Howard Thurman. I need to do some research on Howard Thurman because his quotes keep popping up and I don't know a whole lot about him. Good morning, Catherine. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So we'll see what we get. But the quote is, follow the grain of your own wood. Follow the grain of your own wood. Quit trying to cram yourself into a little box where you think you're supposed to fit or where someone else has told you you belong. Follow the grain of your own wood. So, be your whole dazzling chart. Here we go. And it starts with one of her stories, which I just love these stories because they're so outrageous. While I was eating at a cafe in Ojai, California, a guy wearing a poncho and a straw hat walked up to say that he had an important message from my angels. Ojai being Ojai, a vortex for all things new age, groovy, and sometimes insane, this seemed like the most natural thing in the world. So I invited him to sit down. His message was brief. He closed his eyes and spoke as if he was transmitting from a staccato radio. You, unusual, half and half, everything. Introvert, extrovert, east, west, brain, heart, young, old, woman, man, everything, no forget. Then he left to go buy a burrito. Well, this was so accurate he didn't know the half of it. I'd spent years trying to dissolve the innate paradoxes of my nature until I realized one day we were born to embrace them. So, I want us paying attention to that, not just for our own selves and the complicated selves that we are and the seeming paradoxes within, etc., but allowing that in others as well. We'll get to the implications. Let's see here. My planets in Aquarius and Sag were the life of the party, but a strong Neptune longed to hide at home. The Capricorn sun worked like a dog, but my Libra rising only wanted a hot tub. On and on. I had to learn how to let all the different conflicting parts speak with abandon. Those online tests where you're deemed a type were impossible. Thank you, Cindy. You make my life so easy. Depending on my mood or time of day, the answers would shift, just like my illegible handwriting. So I tend to attract clients ablaze with contradictions, like Lee, the vivacious Sag from Los Angeles. She had a ton of fire, yet until recently her Scorp moon ran the show. It filled her life with a steady diet of emotional sturm and drang, while her poor fire sign suffocated, longing for fun and adventure. Good morning, Trudy. Glad you're here. Haven't seen you in a while. Awesome. But now she's owning her Sag and aging in reverse, becoming the spontaneous spirit she repressed in her younger days. Doesn't that sound good? Someone else called me recently from Germany. She had a batch of planets in grounded Taurus, yet her Aries moon sat next to rebel Uranus. When I suggested she might be living a more cautious life than her unconventional moon pined for, she whooped loudly and vigorously agreed. A dutiful Virgo I know, with practical Saturn in his sun, graduated from law school to appease his father. But within 6 months of practicing, he had ulcers. His array of planets in Libra cried for art and beauty, so eventually he opened a boutique in New York. He confessed, "Honey, I was without a doubt the world's worst attorney. I'd be in the middle of a deposition, dreaming of giving everyone a makeover. I'd never been around people with less style. It was like working in a special rung of Brooks Brothers hell." Sometimes I think the different planets in someone's charts are like guests at a cosmic party. Some aspects blend, others clash. The trick is helping everyone feel included and comfortable. Just make sure no one takes over and drinks all the punch. So I'd like you to think about that idea within yourself. I have a friend, Kayleen, who does a fair amount of astrology and talks about, good morning, Nancy, glad you're here, talks about how people want the box. They want to be put in this box. I'm a Virgo, so it must mean this, without looking at the complexities of things. Trying to stuff ourselves into one little box really does a disservice to the complex nature of human beings. Even other creatures, we can see there's much more to them than just what we like to think. Looking in a horse's eyes, there's a whole lot going on in there. So let's read this part again, and I want you to think about this with regard to yourself. So close your eyes if you're able, not if you're driving. Close your eyes. Nice deep breath in. Let it go. Feeling yourself opening to hearing this on a much deeper level. Your physical ears are going to take in the information, but your spiritual, emotional, mental ears are the ones who are going to process it, okay? Sometimes I think the different planets in someone's chart are like guests at a cosmic party. Some aspects blend, others clash. The trick is helping everyone feel included and comfortable. So, those contradictions, we are complicated beings. We don't fit neatly in boxes, no matter how much we desire to put ourselves there, right? Because then it's clear. If I'm this, then I'm not that, and that. I don't have to. What if I'm this and that? How do I embrace both? What if I'm this and this and this and this? How do I embrace it all? And if that feels to you overwhelming, trust that there's a reason you were, I'm going to use a word here, manufactured the way you were. Embrace that. Trust that. Allow that. Stop looking at others and going, I wish I was more like her. No, 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 no. You were handed the set of gifts you were handed. You were handed the set of challenges you were handed. Embrace the mix. Embrace the mix. Embrace that mix within yourself, not trying to cram yourself into a little space where you don't fit. I am this. But embrace that also in others. Jonelle and I were talking about that. Yes, embracing your shadow self, embracing your contradictory self, embracing your this and that, embracing all of it. How interesting will that be, right? It's not going to be boring. How interesting will that be? Jonelle and I were talking about that. Good morning, Megan. Glad you're here. Yesterday, when we were filming more of our series, the Common Ground Conversation series. So there should be another one coming out probably late this week or early next week. But we were talking about that, how when we fight with other people, it's oftentimes over where we've stuffed them into a little narrow box and not allowed them to be the complex human beings that they are. So you're a Democrat, you believe this, this, and this. You're a Republican, you believe this, this, and this. You're a woman, you believe this, this, and this. You're a man, you believe this. No, there's as much variety in beliefs within any of those categories, titles, labels, as there are across the whole world. So we need to stop shoving people into boxes. We need to embrace that simply because someone may choose a particular label for themselves doesn't mean that we know who they are. There's that complicated person in there for you to get to know. Can you be curious about that? Can you ask questions? Can you seek to understand? Right? And the same thing about you. Can you share yourself in all of your complexities? You know, today I believe this, tomorrow I believe that. I like this and then I like that. I love being out at a party and having a great time. I love going home and being alone. You know, all of it, all of it. How do we embrace those contradictions? Not viewing that person as somehow lying or pretending to be something else. No, we have all of that within. Embrace all of that. Embrace the mix within. That's going to be my mantra out of this one. Embrace the mix within. So today what I'd love for all of us to do is explore that a bit. Yeah, where do I have that? Where do I have the this and that? Where do I have the this and this and this and this? How do I embrace that more? How do I allow all of that to be expressed? If there's the worker bee part of me, but there's also the creative part of me, how do I honor both? That's our practice for today. Have an awesome Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.